I think you had a theme going because you
You
are
think
like a
so?
blackjack queen with the tables.
I have to say I'm a little impressed because I have played blackjack with you and you are not very good.
I think I'm just intimidated, like that I'm going to do, except Midwest nice. I don't want to do the wrong thing and be like, get out of here. What are you doing? So,
Yeah, and
yeah.
I'm from New England, so I just don't give a
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Look at you. You built your firm into a one-person empire, but now you're stuck trying to figure out how to scale to those next employees, add new services like advisory, tax prep, tax strategy, or really just level up your systems. Well, look no further than the Firm Foundation. Yes, we've taken everything we've learned in our 4 years building a 7-figure firm and bottled it up for you to replicate and put in place right away. Head over to thefirm.foundation and use the code UnAccountable for your special discount. We'll see you there.
Welcome to UnAccountable, the world's okayest accounting game show podcast for product news, updates, and education. I am your perfect angel host, Jeremy Van Grohl, and today, joined by the one and only, once again, badass bookkeeper, Beth Carter. Beth, how are you?
Hello, I am so excited, but at the same time, pretty nervous because who can really fill Tyler Otto's shoes?
Oh yeah, not this guy. Oh man. So just for listeners, Tyler. So we just had Scaling New Heights, and I got back midnight last night after a flight delay. So, but Tyler had to go home, quick turnaround, and then taking his family to Hawaii. So we found the next best thing with Beth, and that's why she's joining us today. So wishing Tyler a aloha, hello, and goodbye on the island of Kamana Wanaleu, right? Isn't that one of the Hawaii islands?
No, that was bad.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah.
It's what my brain. Anyway, all right, we got a debrief on scaling. So we got back from Scaling New Heights. Again, me late yesterday. Beth, I think you were back the day before.
Yeah.
So this is the Woodard team. Was in Orlando again at the Orlando World Center Marriott. Fantastic location, first of all. Like if you haven't visited there,
gorgeous.
Yeah, and the like it's a hike, right? Because it's such a big building, but like the conference rooms and the conference setup is amazing, and the facilities at the hotel are amazing too. It's got pool, water park, all the things, and you add a whole bunch of crazy accountants into that, and it equals a lot of fun.
I mean, accountants are fun. I'm not gonna lie, accountants are fun.
Accountants are a lot of fun, yeah. So the theme of the conference this time was A Strange New World, a ton focused on AI, right, and what we can do. And we are not typically like, let's dive in on all the things AI on this podcast, but this one felt really appropriate because like over the last, and you know, Tyler's on the pulse on all these things, over the last 3 months, there has been a ridiculous amount of scaling up of AI capabilities.
You did there.
You see what I did there?
Yeah.
So, the like theme of the conference, but like even, and I go to these, and you and I, we're selective on our sessions, but just talking with our favorite vendors, and they were all good, great, brought their A swag game, but like the ramps, the doubles, the anchors of the world, things like that, like so many cool things are happening and coming down the pipe right now that it's going to be wild. And hard for us non-Tyler people to keep up with it, right?
Well, I don't know, because I'm more on the Tyler side of AI than the Jeremy side.
You're right. I need to get my crap together. Dang.
I love AI. I just do. I just love it.
Yeah, and it's something like just had a conversation with my team debriefing some of this stuff, and it's like, it's go time, right? Like I've said that to my team for a long time. I need to be better at giving them an actual structure and be like, here's an expectation of you need to put in an hour or 2 hours during select weeks or each week, going in and starting just to play with it. Because I think the first skill that was you really just need is like building good prompts, right?
No, I disagree.
Oh, okay.
I think the first skill that you need is being able to think in a bigger way.
Okay. Yeah. Different way.
Right. and out of the box kind of a way to be able to say, hey, this process kind of sucks.
Yeah.
I bet you there's a better way to do it.
Yeah.
And that's the beginning thought process, I think, is just being able to, instead of just going through your day and clicking off check boxes, right? Like, yep, did this, did that,
Right.
follow that.
Yeah.
Instead, it's thinking and stopping and thinking and saying, how can I do this better? Is there a way? You don't have to know what that way is in order to build that prompt.
Yeah.
You can just say to Claude, hey, I've got this issue. How can you help me fix it?
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's part of it is like getting in your mindset to have that as front and center when you're doing things, right? Is like, this takes me a while, right? This could be way faster. This could be way better. This has a risk of error or whatever it is, and just getting in that mindset.
Yeah, I'm actually doing something similar with my team. I'm, they don't know it yet.
Surprise!
But right now, or up until now, we have a weekly team meeting.
Yeah.
And they have all been required to do 30 minutes of some sort of educational self-work.
Yeah.
Right. And then we come onto the team meeting, everybody shares what they learned, the link to where they learned it, and we get to talk about it. So one of the things that I picked up in the conference, I think it was Jason Statz who said, whose fault is it if your staff isn't up to speed on AI?
Yeah.
And he threw out a number of 80-20, 80% it's my fault, 20% it's theirs. So they have to have the drive and they have to have the desire, right? But we have to teach them and we have to make it part of the culture. So I'm going to be adding on, like you, a weekly requirement, but I'm thinking I could make it like each week, one person is responsible for coming in and bringing something that they've built.
Yeah. Or done or whatever it is, right? There's a lot of like lack of clarity, even maybe just to me again, like this is an agent and this is a prompt and here is co-work and everything like that. And we'll, again, Tyler's really good at this, as are you, and we'll try to flesh some of that out in upcoming episodes on where we can assist and kind of provide some value there. And one of the main stage speakers, Dr. Daniel Susskind, was great about this as well, and how kind of like where we are going here and some of the opportunities. The one that blew my mind is like just one-on-one coaching or teaching opportunities with you and an AI resource, right? Is just like, instead of you going and doing searches or reading books or whatever, it'd be like, hey, here's a skill I want to learn or a topic I need to know more on. I need to know more about.
Oh, no.
More of, I don't know. But like, and just leveraging those tools to be like, okay, here is how we can train you and give you examples and put together materials that you can really build skills where you want to around AI or anything else.
Yeah, and that's what I've always, I mean, for the very short time frame that the general public has had access to AI, I have told people you don't need to stress out about, I don't know how to write a prompt, or you don't need to stress out about, where do I start? What do I do? How do I get it right? It's going to help you get it right. And if you can walk in to a Claude chat, never having known anything about how to build a prompt, and it can walk you through how to get from here to there. So I think one of the things some of the folks were talking about during the conference was, what is your end goal? So it's less these days, and I think more so with the new Claude models, it's more about telling it your expected outcome as opposed to knowing how to prompt in the first place.
Right. Like one of the Stephen Covey principles of effective leadership or whatever it is, begin with the end in mind, right? Like, what are you trying to get out of this? I love it. So I would be remiss not to bring up too that there was lower standards for main stage this year, and Tyler and I got to go up there and rock the UnAccountable show live with three brilliant minds, Randy Crabtree, Dawn Brolin, and Tony Proctor. And like, was so much fun. First of all, I'd like to say that Jason Stats was our opening act.
He was.
He was, yeah, right. Like he just had to warm up the crowd for the closers. But no, it was so good, and I know you provided feedback, but and our friends did too. But former strangers came up and said like, you guys did so well, and that was amazing. So I went, yeah, it's pretty cool.
I had a video of a total stranger who was talking about how it was the best event throughout the entire conference.
Yeah. So we're hoping we already got Joe to say, here are some thoughts for next time or whatever. And Tyler right away goes, that's a verbal contract. We're coming back. So hopefully you will see us back next year and maybe some of the other conferences near you. We'll see. Kind of cool.
It was so awesome. I mean, I was so proud of you guys.
Oh, thank you.
It was a proud mama moment.
I love it. And then like other thing I just want to say, and again, going a little off script on this one because Tyler's not here and he can't yell at me today. So, but just what is the organization that is taking donations to bring people to conferences? I can't think of the name. Accounting Connectors.
You lost me.
I don't know. Dawn's part of that, but they had a great booth. The value of going to these things is never higher, right? Like if the connections that you make, those people, I talked to a lot of people that are part of the Woodard program and getting a ton of value out that. And, when we went to GrowCon, it was the same thing. If you don't have your people to connect with, and any of these coaching things or small groups or Jason Stats Realize or things like that can help you find your people, it is worth every penny you will pay. It will not be cheap, but it is worth every penny.
100%. I mean, I feel like that's a good segue into how you and I met, which you don't remember.
I kind of remember. All right, real quick, give a 30 seconds. How'd that happen?
I heard you on a podcast. I decided we should be BFFs.
Yeah.
Reached out to you on LinkedIn, and you kind of blew me off. Then I was at a conference, and you were speaking.
Yeah.
And I went, oh my gosh, we should be BFFs.
Yeah.
And I don't think I realized that you were the same person that I messaged.
Yeah.
And I went and talked to you afterwards. And what I said to you was, I am looking for someone in the industry who's a couple steps beyond where my business is.
Yeah.
Because the rooms that I've been in recently are kind of the opposite of that. And I need something to reach toward. I need a mentor, but not such a, mentor, right? But just somebody who's been where I am and is a couple steps ahead that I can see and emulate and ask questions to. And then, you and I became super tight and we realized that I know more than you do.
Very quickly.
Yeah. No, that's not true. But that's a perfect example of making these connections. I mean, you and I have been super tight since that day.
Right.
And I rely on you as someone in my industry to bounce things off of. And I rely on you to say, wait, we're doing this. Does that make sense? Oh, you guys tried that and it didn't work? Okay, let me do this. Those are the kinds of people that you're meeting in conferences. Because I've been thinking about how much I love my profession.
Yeah.
Like, we're not competitive with each other. We're there for each other, providing support, referrals, strategic partnerships, all the things. And that was so evident at scaling this year.
Yeah. For example, I was sitting talking to Amanda, and some wonderful lady came by and talked to one of the vendors that was chatting with us as well. And she was from Your Part-Time Controller, which is like the elephant in the room for nonprofit accounting. They have like 800 staff members all over the country and all that. And as soon as she said that, I'm like, I need to meet this person, right? Like I want to follow her. I want to know what she's doing, all of that stuff. So yeah, if you are in that mindset yet of scarcity and not connecting with anyone that may be a benefit to you, break that now. Go reach out to people. Be brave. Introduce yourself. Make friends. Totally worth it.
Absolutely. I mean, hey, Jason Stats knows who I am now because of that. Like,
right.
How freaking cool is that?
Yeah. And Tyler was, I don't know, tongue in cheek, giving me criticism or something, because even like Logan Graff, who I didn't know before, like my opening to him is like, I saw this immaculate specimen of a man shirtless in the lobby, and my heart went aflutter, so I had to talk to you. And he's like, dude, you're so creepy when you go talk to people. And I'm like, this is me, man. Like, if that's me, would you rather be like, oh, hey, I'm a big fan or whatever? Or would you have somebody that comes up with, like, even if it's borderline inappropriate, but something funny? If that doesn't hit with you, we're not going to be friends with, because like that's who I am. So
This is so funny because we didn't share the Logan Graff stories. I saw him in an empty hallway. He was wearing a shirt, unfortunately, but he was on one end and I was on the other. No one else was in that room. And I just threw my arms up in the air for a hug. I've never met this man before, but he was the only one on my list of people I need to meet at this conference. We've talked on LinkedIn, not even one-on-one. Like, we've talked in comments.
Yeah.
And I told him that we needed to take a selfie together this year. And I have no idea if he knew who I was when I put my arms out, but he hugged me back and we talked and we took a picture.
Yeah, and it was funny. And I forget the gentleman's name who's the CEO of Puzzle, but Logan was actually, and Logan puts out great content. Like, he's going out there and killing it. I like that I figure he would be an okay one because his LinkedIn says he's got a punchable face right in the top of it. So, but he was doing an interview of the Puzzle CEO, and Tyler noticed. So if you go look at that video when he publishes it, Tyler and I are just back behind him in his interview, just staring, talking to each other, being very awkward in the back of the video. So I can't wait till he publishes it, because I'm going to be like, who are the creepy guys in the back?
Who's your next have to meet?
Who's my next have to meet? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't have that answer.
I would love to meet Michael Eckstein.
Okay.
He's on LinkedIn and absolutely hilarious.
Okay.
If you're not following him, definitely start following. Oh gosh, his content is gold.
All right. I'm going to check that out. Cool. All right. I promise we have some games coming up, and going, again, a little off script because Tyler can't yell at me, but I'm going to go to halftime already, because we got a longer game and then a pretty in-depth loser conversation coming up. So with that, maybe early, but we're going to halftime.
Do you want to make $10,000 today? Do you want to lose 20 pounds in the next month? Do you want to be well-liked and respected by all your peers? We can't help you with that. You've come to the wrong place. But if you do want to earn an hour of CPE credit for listening to this episode, right after you finish, head on over to the Earmark app, take a short 5-question quiz, and you earn 1 hour of CPE just for listening to us. Happy quizzing!
All right, and with that, and first of all, I am so lucky to have you on, because you said, I have ideas, I'm going to build the game, and I was like, I don't have time right now, and stressed out from being at scaling for a week. But for halftime, we're going to talk about Lovable, and I had not heard of this before you showed me some of the cool things in there. So, like, just first broadly, what is Lovable?
So overall, it's a way to build an app without knowing how to do coding.
Yeah. Okay.
So I want to make that super, super clear. I know nothing about coding. Back in the MySpace days, I learned HTML so that I could have a cool homepage.
Do you still have this cool homepage?
I mean, it might exist somewhere. I don't know.
If you could find it, I want to put it in the show notes and go there. That'd be awesome. Anyway, keep going.
So it's just a beautiful, great UI platform to build anything that you want to be repeatable.
Okay.
For example, you can create simple things with it.
Okay.
Like a payroll reconciliation. The way that I started with it was with spreadsheets that I had already built to do a job. Used as templates. All I did was upload the spreadsheet and say, turn this into an app. Here's the reason why. When it's a spreadsheet, it's very delicate and someone can break it.
Yeah.
Like type field, that's a formula, whatever. And if you include scripts or macros, you can't actually lock down the cells. So my team was inadvertently, changing the templates, and I'd have to continually go back and fix them, which I don't blame them for. I'd probably do the same thing.
Right.
So I was looking for a way to be able to build something that was unbreakable to, the regular user and could be used over and over. So all I did was upload this payroll reconciliation spreadsheet that we've used for years and years and years. And I said, turn this into an app. So it turned it into basically a form, but a really pretty branded form that was easy to see, where you just type in the numbers. And then I said, well, wait a second, I'll bet you it can actually read the 941s and the 940 and, payroll summaries. So the next step was telling it, I want you to read these reports that I'm going to upload and populate all the data.
Yeah.
It did that. And then I said, well, wait a second, you're connected to Google Drive. Well, I want you to go into Google Drive and look for the client, find their folder, because that's where we store all of our documents.
Right.
Find the folder, find the 941s, and then populate the data. Boom, done. I publish it. All of my staff can log into it at any time. They can log in at the same time. They can't break anything, and they can click a button. Their payroll rec is done in 2 minutes.
Okay. And then is it giving you the form or the file to then upload into QuickBooks, and you just import it?
Well, so with a payroll rec, we're just comparing back against prior quarter's numbers versus what's in QuickBooks. So the next step that I haven't built yet would be for it to then go and read QuickBooks.
Yeah.
And say, does this number match the number on the 941s?
Okay. And I apologize. I had kind of the payroll posting in my head, because we do a lot of grant and class, like project and class, super detailed payrolls to make sure we're allocating costs to all our grants appropriately and things like that. And I have built something in with ChatGPT business model to do that for a couple of clients. And yeah, it was probably a lot harder than using Lovable. And looking at their pricing, it's like, I think you said that you're on Pro or something. It's $25 a month, but your whole team can go on it, right? Like anybody can log in.
Yeah, you can. It's not per person. And then you can up it as your needs increase.
Yeah.
But here's the trick that I just learned a couple weeks ago.
Ooh.
Claude Code.
Yeah.
So just that name sounds scary. Like
very scary.
Right? It
so
is
scary.
not, Jeremy, I promise you. So what you can do, you can use this beautiful interface in Lovable to build your app.
Yeah.
And then there's a little button that says download code. It downloads the entire code for that entire app that you just built into a special, code file, which I don't even know what the name of it is, because I don't need to.
Yeah, right.
And then I import it into Claude Code, and I say, now turn this into my own app. Because I got to a point where I'm like, I'm starting to spend more and more money on Lovable. And then I still don't own it, right? I don't own my app, only as long as I'm paying the subscription.
Yeah.
So once you put it into Claude Code, it rebuilds it into something that you yourself own. And so now I'm building this company intranet with all the apps that I'm building. And it's on this pretty site. I had the idea. I said, well, I don't want anyone to be able to log into it. I only want people who are on my domain to log into it. So it walked me through setting up a Google Authenticator. So now only my team can log in, and they can click a client, or they can click a type of app that they want to use, like those journal entry builders where you can just copy and paste it right into QuickBooks.
Right.
If you want to get fancy, you can build it into actually loading itself into QuickBooks.
Yeah.
I find going from a spreadsheet to Lovable,
right,
to Claude Code, maybe a few more steps, but for me, it just feels more comfortable.
Right. No, I love this. And one of the other things definitely hammered in at scaling this week was the security side of things. Mm-hmm. So just to reiterate to people, make sure you're redacting things where you need to. Like you say, you're putting a 941 in there, you probably want to black out their EIN number. For nonprofits, it's all public, so I feel less like I can
Yeah.
I can go look on the IRS site and find their IN number. But like definitely if there's payroll things, if there's social security numbers, things like that, you want to take that off, bank account numbers, stuff of that nature. Cool. So how long do you think this process took before you built this out, and how long does it take now?
Oh gosh. Well, I'm actually going to use my journal entry calculator as an example.
Yeah.
We have a spot that has 15 locations.
Okay.
And they have a POS, they have cash payments, they collect Afterpay and Apple Pay and all the things through their POS.
Okay. Yeah.
In addition to their native POS. They split by class. Everything goes to a specific clearing account. Like this journal entry can be 100 lines long.
Sure.
It's not difficult, but it's time consuming.
Right.
And easy to make a mistake, a coding error. Oh, and it also, because of the cash versus accrual, a lot of our clients are on cash. There has to be the cash to accrual comparison so that you know what to actually reconcile that clearing account to.
Yep.
I know, super boring. But that was a process that for one client could take 2 hours a month. Now it takes less than 5 minutes.
Right.
Now it may have taken me 6 hours to build it.
But going forward, yeah.
Exactly.
And these are the wins, right? Like once you're done with that, and even the couple things that I've done, right? It's like, wow, okay, I did that. Right. It's going to save me all sorts of time now.
Yeah, absolutely. And then it gets the staff thinking if that worked on this, I'll bet you something like that could be made for this client. And I have one team member who wasn't really into AI other than to, make some cute pictures.
Yeah.
She saw what I had been building. She asked for a separate login to Lovable, and she started building stuff. Like no knowledge, nothing. And I think she has like 7 apps in there right now that she built in no time that she uses daily on her client work.
Oh, that's so cool. And you showed me some of the other things, like you have your pricing calculator in there, like a master client list with a bunch of data and things. So, yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
cool.
Our onboarding process, which kicks out, proposals and connects with the Anchor MCP. And it's just unbelievable. And like, this is only the beginning. I mean, this is just, like we said before, it's sort of the entryway of that mindset of what can it do.
Right. And I was talking with Bev, and I forget the other lady that hosts the Bookkeepers on Fire podcast. Donna, thank you. I'm so bad with names, Beth. You know this.
I know, me too.
But they had a cool idea. We were doing dinner with Ramp, and they're like, oh, yeah, we're starting another bookkeeping firm, and we're going to document it all, and they're going to like YouTube it, right? Which I think is cool. But like with all the tools we have now, just starting fresh, can you imagine like what that would look like? Like no historical client issues, no old processes in place. Like starting a firm fresh right now would be amazing. And that's why me and especially, but all of us like need to up our games now, because like the super smart people are out there just getting started and are going to blow past you if you don't get into this stuff.
Jeremy.
Why you got to call me out like that all the time?
Because I love you.
I know. All right, that's super cool. So, and again, $25 a month for the base thing. Cool. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And now let's get to some games, because that's what the people want, right?
Let's do it.
Welcome to Fast Figures. 10 questions, 1 minute-ish. All answers are numbers. The game starts now.
So again, because Beth is amazing, she's like, no, I want to build the questions and ask you because you all like embarrassing me. So this is a first where like Tyler or I am, I believe, getting roasted by a guest on this. And it's so much harder. I think it's because you just didn't want to be in the hot seat, isn't it?
It's because you completely destroyed me when I was a guest.
So this is revenge.
This is revenge.
All right, I'm here for it. Let's put a minute on the clock. You ready with questions?
All right, I'm ready.
Here we go.
In blackjack,
Ooh.
what number does the dealer have to stand on?
17.
Gaming regulators won't let one person handle the cash. What's the minimum number of people required in the count room?
Ooh, 3.
Traditionally, what does a blackjack pay?
Isn't it 1.5 times?
What's the ratio? Yeah. What's the ratio?
3 to 2? 2 to
What's
3?
the house edge on an American 00 roulette wheel?
I'm going to do a percent or something. It's something like 52 or 56 because of the 0 and the 00. Something, I don't know.
What's the green number on the wheel that hands the house its edge?
0. Or is it double?
Roll 2 dice. What comes up more than any other?
7.
How many of the 36 combinations actually make 7?
12.
How many cards in the deck are worth 10?
What is diabolical? 16.
A natural blackjack right off the deal takes how many cards?
2.
When the dealer shows an ace and you're worried they've got blackjack, you can buy insurance. What does insurance pay if it hits?
1 to 1, like get your money back.
That's it.
Oh, I think you had a theme going because you are like a blackjack queen with the tables.
I said blackjack!
Ooh, all right, well let's go through them and let's see how I did. Ooh.
I have to say I'm a little impressed because I have played blackjack with you and you are not very good.
Well, I won't lie to you. Cards are not my bag, baby.
I think I'm just intimidated, like that I'm going to do, except Midwest nice. I don't want to do the wrong thing and be like, get out of here. What are you doing? So, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm from New England, so I just don't give a...
Yeah, right, exactly.
All right, in blackjack, what number does the dealer have to stand on? And you correctly answered 17.
Yeah, and I was thinking in my head like 16. I'm like, oh, soft 16, you got to hit it yet and all that. Yes, so.
There you go.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, wow, take it.
Okay. So with that, the dealer doesn't get a choice. They don't get to decide, I'm going to hold at 16, right? The way that we can. So that's really an internal control, right?
Agreed.
Approval authority. You don't just get to choose something. And so I was thinking this is really something you deal with a lot in nonprofits, and we probably should deal with more often in for-profits.
Yeah.
Like, how often do you see a lack of controls around approval authority?
Oh, all the time. I mean, like one of the native things, like you said, with nonprofits is, first of all, like generally not funded well, like they're scrappy, right? We have a few clients that are very blessed and have huge donor bases and amazing events and things like that. But most of them, you just got to be scrappy. So you're always limited on headcount, right? So to have even the people there to do the things and in the right roles, not always the case. There is a lot of them, and they all get audited, right? Once you're at a revenue point, you have to get an audit. So it's a challenge. There's a lot of them that get that finding coming out of the audit is that there's a lack of controls in here because of this, and they kind of got to just deal with it and adjust as they can. We just had one the other day where an organization had a fundraiser, and I'm sure I've said this to them before, but somebody was concerned about the actual cash that was collected. And I'm like, well, at the end of the fundraiser, you should have 2 people there to count it out, right? And then it should theoretically, it's got to be in a secure place or whatever, or to the bank right away, and then validating with 2 people that same dollar amount is there and matches, right? And they had not done that. And again, very trustworthy people that are on there, but still, it's like there is always that risk. So it's huge.
Yeah, and even just having an approval limit, right? To say this person can approve up to this and this person can approve up to that. So I think it's funny that a lot of people think of an audit as they're just looking at the numbers, but they're looking at process just as much as they're looking at numbers.
Yeah. Did you follow your policy? At a nonprofit, they get copies of all your minutes. Are you doing things that are aligned with the minutes, like wage increases or change the capitalization policy or things like that? So yeah, it can definitely be intense.
Do you have those kinds of controls in your business, which is not a nonprofit?
Of course I do, Beth. I think we do a decent job, but I'd say because we do it so often with clients and have these things in place, we're probably above average there. But this is where, again, technology helps. So like Ramp or something where you have a approval, you can set that up, or it's like the executive director can approve up to $1,000, and then it has to go to the treasurer for a second approval, and it's not somebody walking a check around trying to get signatures.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love it.
Oh gosh, those days were brutal.
Oh yeah.
All right, next question. Gaming regulators won't let one person handle the cash. What's the minimum number of people required in the count room? I am shocked that you got this right.
That was totally a guess. I'm thinking I was going to go with 2, but then I'm like, that feels still risky of collusion. Yeah. So I would think 3. All right, I'm gonna wait. I need my cha-ching. Yeah, nice.
So similar to the last question, this is more focused on segregation of duties, right? As opposed to approval authority, but no one touches that money alone. Like someone always has to be looking over the other person and then a third person. So is there in nonprofits, is there a hard and fast rule on at what dollar amount something needs segregation?
I don't think there's a hard and fast one. I mean, like when you get to the audit, there's always some level of materiality, right? But like the process still needs to be followed. So like when you are opening the mail for donations, 2 people need to be there, and then someone needs to log that or have a record of it, and then someone else should be putting that into the bank, and then someone else should be actually working the books and doing the reconciliations. So there's enough of it that's out there that gets, again, when your nonprofit people are wearing so many hats that sometimes it just can't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to call out for a moment that I am making you sound really, really smart and knowledgeable.
Yeah, you're the best. It's true.
I know.
I mean, I do know some things. I'm just not like
you do
on the breaking edge of AI.
Yeah, I mean, Tyler makes you sound really dumb.
It's just because he's so smart. Oh, God. Anyway, I'm not talking about Tyler being smart anymore. Let's move on.
Traditionally, what does a blackjack pay? You said 3 to 2.
Yeah.
And it is 3 to 2.
But is 1 point, like I was really at 1.5, is that the right? Yeah.
I honestly don't know. I don't know ratios. I forget math.
Yeah. Math is hard.
Math is hard. That's why we have computers.
That's right.
So interestingly enough, I was reading about a lot of casinos switched from 3 to 2 to 6 to 5 and didn't tell people.
Okay.
Like it's on the little table, right? But they didn't, no one really kind of knew. And it pays you less for the same win.
Yeah.
So
sucks.
It's kind of like, it's significant, right? Yeah. Depending on how much you're betting. So that's just, kind of goes to show the reason why, like we're always telling people it's not just about your top line revenue. Your top line revenue doesn't mean anything. It's the changes that you make to get to a better effective tax rate or to a better profit. Is that something that you still find at your level of people that you're working with that you're having to explain?
Oh, yeah. And I readily say that to most people. But first, like, just to get back to the actual, again, I think operationally sometimes is like, can you imagine if you were a dealer and they made that change? Now, don't you have to like pull out, if you got a lower table, I got to pull out like $1 chips and give it, isn't it harder to pay out?
In New Hampshire, we only just started being able to gamble a few years ago.
Yeah.
And we don't even have 50-cent chips. They have to pull out, they have a little like banker's roll of quarters.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, God. Anyway, just operationally, that's got to be, but like I'm sure for the amount of dollars going through there, them training their staff to like now do this and put the chips there. But anyway, now I forgot the damn question.
Talking about profit versus top line revenue.
Oh, yeah. So like I'm very like, if you ask me a question about my firm, I'm going to tell you what we do. And even my top line got blasted out at Crocon because I won the niche award or whatever. But I will tell people, like, I guarantee there are people making half top line that are making more bottom line than I am. A lot of them, right? And some of that is lack of an effective leader or something, but more of it is that, like, also, or a good portion of it too, is like, I will never be able to charge a huge dollar amount or a huge premium for our services with nonprofits. We have some of them. I think we do okay on pricing, but like that gets reviewed by both like the executive director and their whole board usually has to sign off when they're changing these engagements. So there's usually a lot of smart people involved and are critical towards pricing. Or maybe I'm
But
just
they
not
have a
finding
budget for it. I think that's the cool thing
Right.
about working with nonprofits is you're not just throwing out a number that they're like, wait, what's that? Like I have to invest in bookkeeping and accounting.
You would be surprised some of the people if they have a budget for it or not. But yeah, so I mean, those are hard conversation. What?
Don't you manage the budgets?
We do. We help them build the budgets sometimes, and we're like, hey, we built in our increase this year. There you go. Right? It's in there.
Perfect.
Yeah. So I mean, that's tough, but like I am okay with that too, but it still needs to get better, right? Like I am naturally a generous person, and especially if they're struggling, I don't want to be like, hey, here's your big increase this year, and now they can't do their mission because they're going to be insolvent. So I'll never be where like the 5 percentile, the best in pricing and profitability, but I'd love to get to like the 50 or 60%. That'd be great.
I mean, maybe if you were to adopt some AI, you could get closer to that.
That's the goal. Lovable, here I come.
All right, next question. What's the house edge on an American 00 roulette wheel? You were really, 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 really close with like 50 something percent.
52, I think I said. Yeah.
So the answer is 5.26.
Okay.
Really, like you were so close.
Yeah. I think I like in my head. I didn't know how to answer that in the right form, but that like they have the slightest edge because of that's the next question. But like, yeah, the slightest edge.
This led me to think about a bunch of small clients versus a few large clients, right? Because like the house can lose a bunch of little bets, but overall they win, right? So it's interesting because I kind of think the opposite way about that in bookkeeping and in, my clients. So like, would you, in your perfect world, would you prefer to have a bunch of small sort of easy clients versus a few large complex clients?
Yeah, and I love this question. And when you have your people, this is a cool debate between because you get so many different opinions on it. And I waffle on this one because I remember when I first started the organization and I was talking with Justin Boynton, and he's like, everybody talks about these big clients, but I love these like $400 or $500 clients where I can just set up rules. And now like this was 8 years ago, so way before AI. I think you could do now. He's like, I can set up some AI things and it just hammers it out, right? And it's done, and I'm spending 30 minutes a month on them or whatever it is. So that to me is really intriguing. The part that would bother me with that, though, is I really like being able to tell larger organizations, give them better clarity on where their dollars are going, right? And for that, it's usually a higher price point, but it also takes a higher skill level that I may not be staffed for at that time. So there are ones where it's like, hey, we want this, or we want some CFO or controller type things. And I look at my team and I'm like, there's 4 or 5 of us probably that can do that well. And I don't know if any of them don't have capacity right now, so I can't do that.
Yeah.
So that's my waffle on it. I like, hopefully now, again, with getting some of these tools in there and leaning on like the forecasting tools and cash flow management and predictability of things, you can get to those higher level services still at a lower time effort. And then I would be like, I'll want those bigger clients because in theory, those should be more profitable and they should be paying it and all that too.
I'm more of I think about the admin side of things. So like to have a bunch of small clients, it's, they all need to have a home and ClickUp. They all need to have, a double subscription. They all need to, they all need to get their monthly reports. And all of those processes take the same amount of time for a small client as a large client. It's all the other in-between stuff that differs. So sometimes because we have like such a sort of deep QA process, doing all the small clients really leaves us very unprofitable.
Right. And I got from people in my network, Judah and Madison, when I started chatting with them many, many years ago too, they're talking about like, what's your staff made of? And they always had really good questions that would challenge me. And I'm like, well, we have, at that point, I think we have like 8 full-time people and 4 part-time or whatever it was. And they're like, yeah, we won't hire part-time anymore because you're taking all the time to do all these things with them and not getting the same bang for your buck and hours and things like that out of them. So you can take that the other side as far as your staff as well as your clients.
Ooh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. All right, next question. What's the green number on the wheel that hands the house its edge? You said 0, and you are correct.
But is it 0? Because there's double 0 too, right?
It's 0.
Okay, why?
I didn't do enough research, Jeremy. You weren't paying me for this.
Okay.
So I was thinking about 0 in terms of break-even point. And, how different that is in a nonprofit versus in a for-profit. But the bigger question to me is, do you do things like that? Do you, in your firm, on a typical accounting contract, do things like measuring break-even and, ratios and comparing against, industry standards and all those kinds of things? Or do you leave that to like a fractional CFO?
Yeah. So we use for our larger clients that need specialized reporting, we use Reach and have our like baseline report where it has a lot of their like liquidity figures in there, like current ratio, what's your cash balance, things like that. My favorite one that I think for-profits probably don't use enough either is like months cash on hand, right? Is like how many months cash on hand should you have? Minimum 3. If you get past 9, then you're like, let's get some investments going out there and get better returns on things. So that one's my favorite. And then also has like just cash from operations, right? Because if you're relying on investments or loans or anything like that, and you're not getting that number positive over the long term, you're not going to make it.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Do your staff have that level of knowledge as well as you, or is that...
I think they are all comfortable with it. I think there is a minority of us that actually understand it and can speak to it very well.
Yeah, because that's not something I expect out of my staff. It's something that I feel very comfortable saying, hey, that's CFO work, and we are not a CFO firm. Let me find you somebody, who can focus on those kinds of things. And, sometimes it gives me imposter syndrome, but I think overall I'm pretty comfortable with the fact that like, this is our lane, this is what we do. And, that higher level advisory CFO type of work is not part of what you're paying for here with us.
Yeah, right. And that's how you want your firm to be, right? And I think that's completely reasonable and how we all make those decisions. Another reason why I think like we spend more time with clients than the average person is like, we want to meet with them and build a relationship, right? So like that is, and nonprofits want that. So we will spend the time, if they are a large enough client, we go to their board meeting and we'll like present the financials and talk with their board on it and that type of things. The only thing of anything they ask that I hate is like, walk me through the cash flow statement. Like, there's no way, like I can do it, but I have to think about it pretty intently to be like,
this is one in QuickBooks. That's so good.
Oh yeah. Or if it's in Reach or wherever it is. Yeah. But it's like, you try to explain to them that like, yeah, your AR went down and that's good. And you're like, wait, why is that? Yeah. And there's so many questions and I'm just like, I'm going to give you the overview. Like these are all balance sheet amounts and just ties it back to where actual cash came in because these bills were outstanding at the end of the year. That is always like, you just see them glaze over and I'm like, you asked for this. This is accounting 301.
But I feel exactly. And I feel like it's intimidating to so many accounting firm owners, right? That there's this huge push toward everybody's got to be doing advisory. Everybody, if you're an accountant, then you've got to be doing advisory and CFO type work. And, we didn't all take accounting 301 possibly.
Right.
And that's not our, however much I love my fractional CFOs, they don't know how to get in and do the grunt work in QuickBooks. They don't know how to, look for anomalies. They don't know how to, build the things, right? And so I think just to say to those other business owners like myself who don't have this huge advisory arm, that's okay.
That's okay. Build your firm. Yeah. I also hate the acronym CAS. I think I'm going to develop a game one of these times is like, what are some better options for acronyms for providing higher level services? And it might be borderline dirty.
I'm in.
All right, let's keep going.
Let's see. How many of the 36 combinations actually make 7?
Wait, I think there's one before that. How many, like, what's the most often
roll
number?
the 2 dice. What comes up more than any other
Yep.
number? How did you know that was 7?
Craps. Like it's always, you always 7, right? It's like 7 you expect. Yeah.
No.
I don't play craps either. I just have seen it. But okay, so like that one, let's go right into the next one.
How many of the 36 combinations actually make that 7?
Is it 12?
It was 6.
Oh. All right, fair.
So 6 ways to roll a 7, but only one way to roll what's called snake eyes, which you can assume are 2 1s.
Yep.
So this got me thinking, thanks to Claude, who helped me put all this together, of course.
All right.
The percentage of your largest client
Mm-hmm.
in our type of industry, I generally hear like 20% of your you shouldn't have one client who's doing more than 20% of your revenue.
Right. Concentration risk. Yeah.
And really, it's kind of like closer to 10 if you're a larger firm.
Yeah.
What have you run into with that? Like, have you ever had, because I have, that client that either left or you had to get rid of that was a huge portion of your income?
I think once we had one that was pretty big. I've never, like, once we, got past 10 or 15 clients, never been like, this client can't leave and we can't figure it out. Mm-hmm. And we have probably 3 or 4 of them right now that would make up 10% maybe if they left. Yeah, which is great, right? And but no, I haven't had that problem. But like if you listen to Joe Woodard's episode, that was why he ran into financial troubles, because they had so much concentration risk. So I agree, and this is like a great topic that people are not thinking of that. And
we just get excited when we see those big numbers, and we're like, yeah, awesome.
Yeah. But also, I thought about this in the lens too, where Tyler's connecting with the one accounting software that works with hotels or whatever. If you built your firm based on that thing, and like I've heard stats talk about it too, like if you can get in on the software and they say they go to nonprofit bookkeeping to do our stuff, what if that software just goes out of favor or fails or things like that too? So like huge opportunity, but risk if you're tied to that one thing and that one thing goes south, it's gone.
Yeah. Although I'll argue that for a second and say, in that case, we don't have this, we in our industry don't have this need for a constant pipeline.
True.
Right. So because that's referral based, I think it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. How many cards in the deck are worth 10?
16, right?
I don't remember what you said, but the answer was 16.
Yeah.
You hadn't thought for a little while over that.
I had to do the math in my head, and if I think I would have thought a little more about the dice and the number of 7s, I could have got to that one too. But
dice. Okay. So that's actually, I never knew this. This is how card counters do it in real time, is by knowing how many there are of each, right? In how many decks there are that they're playing.
Rain Man? Yeah. Let's play some cards. Yeah.
So knowing that information, right? Like knowing the numbers is so important. Obviously, we know that. We preach that like day in and out. You have really great relationships with your clients. And so I was curious as to how often, and is this part of an add-on service, do you do more than just send monthly reports? Like, do you do a monthly Loom? Do you do a monthly call with every client?
Nothing consistent. There are ones, like, I think it's really what they need, right? And are they paying for it, right? There's a lot of clients where it's like we send it to them, and I'd say maybe 30% we send it to them. They're like, yep, good. They take it, go to their board with it, whatever. I'm going to say like another third where it's like we send it to them and we have a meeting either every other week or once a month, right, where we're talking through things and we'll kind of talk through it a little bit. And then there's like a last third or maybe 20% of them where it's like, nope, we go and talk through things, and they're have good level of acumen and will ask questions, and we will talk through things with their board on it and things like that. So it's a little bit of a mishmash, which makes things really easy to keep consistent with all pricing.
Right. No, I mean, but you add cost to that, right? Like it's not just part of your sort of basic package.
Yeah. And try to, like, a lot of that we just try to put in our some of it is like, we have some that have like CFO level services where it's like it's in there, a controller, I'll say, not CFO.
Yeah.
We don't do a lot of like 5-year plans and things like that. But yeah, we try to price those in to our services too and monitor.
Yeah, I go back and forth. Like, I've offered it to our clients as an add-on, and what's interesting is they're not super interested in doing that. But then when I talk to them, they're like, man, I really wish I understood these reports better, or, X, Y, and Z. And it's like, well, wish versus make it happen.
Yeah,
like,
right?
What's it going to be?
Yeah. Pony up.
All right. And number 9 was a natural blackjack right off the deal. Takes how many cards? You correctly answered 2.
Yeah.
We're going to skip to the number 10. When the dealer shows an ace and you're worried they've got blackjack, you can buy insurance. What does insurance pay if it hits?
I have no idea.
It's 2 to 1.
Okay.
So it's interesting because the bet only wins 31% of the time, I guess. So over the long run, you're actually losing money on buying insurance. So what's a decision that you see your business owners making or your executive directors making that looks smart on the payout, but it's actually a bad idea when you look at the odds?
So yeah, great question. One of the things that I struggle with is a lot of them are like, hey, we need to do more diverse fundraising stuff. Whether that's like, hey, you go to Culver's and it's a night that you get 10% of their profits or 10% of whatever they take. But they also like require you to have 5 or 6 staff there for like 4 hours to do that. Like, what could those people be doing otherwise that could be of higher value? Another one is like, I don't know if you know if that at the Packer games here, the Green Bay Packers, all of the vendor food locations are run by nonprofits and they get a take of the profits too. But I've seen some of the numbers that come in, but you're there 8-10 hours a day, 8 hours probably, before the game, getting ready, getting trained, doing the thing, dealing with all the drunk Packer fans, cleaning up afterwards or whatnot.
The stress level too. So it's not even
and it's a stress level.
Stress level.
And I've had people like, hey, yeah, why don't you come do that? And I'm like, you know how much, like if I could take that time and I can guarantee you I could figure out a better way to make more money than you're going to do that. So I think some of those little things, while they add up, are cool, but the cost versus benefit, I don't think is always there.
Yeah, and it's tough. It's something that we, as our own business owners, need to think about.
Yeah.
And something that we need to guide our clients on, which it's one of those like easier said than done kind of things.
Right.
Like it's easier to see someone else's issues than to look internally and be like, oh, maybe this, like something became your baby. And you're like, no, it's not really selling,
Oh, I love it.
That's it. So you got, let's see, 7 out of 10.
Oh, Tyler's not going to let you come back if I got that many right. He's going to be like, no.
I mean, I was thinking of going more of a dirty angle.
Ooh,
just
next time Tyler's gone, let's go there. Now we might know. All right. Well, let's get then to our winner of the week. So winner of the week, I have to throw a little more love to us. Main stage went super well, got so many things. So I'm going to put that out there. Me for having such a smart person able to fill in for Tyler. I am blessed. Also, the Marriott Lobby Bar for their take of dollars. That place was hopping. Yeah. And then loser of the week, got to get into this one, and we'll try to be brief on it. QuickBooks QuickBooks users announced their increases again. The Light and Simple Start and Ledger, I think those all stayed the same, but Essentials going up by $10 a month to $85 from $75, plus going from $115 to $140 a month, and Advanced going from $275 all the way up to $340 a month. Happens every year, right? I'm pretty sure I looked at Intuit stock this year, and it's down like 35%.
Yeah, so Hector Garcia just made a post about that.
Did he? Yeah, mm-hmm. I think they're struggling a little bit. And again, some of these AI forward GL tools are cool and getting it. But to me, the stupidest part of this is they announced it the week Scaling New Heights is happening. And I talked to the Puzzles and the Digits of the world, and like, that was fantastic. We had so many people come up to us and say, that's it, I'm done. Give me a demo and look at it. So maybe the loser.
Although I will say, have you checked out Ledger yet?
I haven't, no.
So Ledger is like $10 a month.
Yeah.
And I haven't tried it yet, but I've heard that it's really great for the small, simple clients.
Yeah. And Kick is doing cool things. So many other cool options out there. Great. Well, thank you again, Beth, for being here. Just a reminder for listeners, UFAT, our UnAccountable fortnightly accounting trivia. I will not say what I think that acronym means on air, but that's happening again.
Or around me.
Or around you, correct. We're taking this Friday off because, again, Tyler's off to Hawaii, and we just got back from scaling. And I think we have a plan for the 3rd of July. So even if you're off, right, starting to crack open a beer and hoisting the flag, come join us. It's going to be super fun. Yeah, and that's what we got. So I think with that, we can make like lightning and bolt. Are you a solo bookkeeper owner or just starting to build your team? Then you need to check out our friends at bookkeepers.com. I know what you're thinking. Jeremy, you and Tyler went through this program and you guys are inept at best, but thousands of students have gone through there and actually created fantastic firms and the freedom that they've been looking for in their lives. So a couple options that they have out there right now: the Digital Bookkeepers Association, low price. Not only does this let you learn or teach you how to scale your business, especially if you're hiring for the first time, they have bi-weekly experts come in and lead all sorts of topics with questions that you have out there. The other thing I love about this is that they have a directory of other members here where if they're not in your niche, you send them to this directory and they can find a quality accountant to work with them or bookkeeper. Other one, they are just started the AI bookkeeping membership, right? And I know AI's out there, but how do we start? This is the place to go, right? Give you the foundations, think about workflows, using AI tools, the training, again, recorded and live trainings, a private community where you can ask these questions. And as we've said so many times on the show, it's the community that gets you ahead faster. So please, if you're at that point, solopreneurs looking to grow your business, check out our friends at bookkeeper.com or email them at success@bookkeepers.com.